Hello and welcome back to a Method to the Madness Breaking Bad edition. I'm your host Patrick. Joining me is Mitchie.
Hello.
And this week we're covering Season 3, Episode 13, the season finale, Full Measure. No introduction is needed for this episode, really. We should just jump straight into it.
Yeah, alright. In a flashback in 1992, Walt and the pregnant Skylar are shown by a realtor the house where they'll eventually live. Walt, then working at the prestigious Sandia laboratory, envisions a bright future with 3 children and worries that they aren't setting their sights high enough with the house. In the present day, after Walt kills the gang members and Jesse goes on the run, Walt meets with Gus and Mike to negotiate for his and Jesse's safety and for the continuation of his employment. Walt suggests Gus has 2 options. A. Kill Walt right there on the spot and eventually track down and kill Jesse. Or B. Consider the incident a lone hiccup in an otherwise long and fruitful business arrangement, let him return to cooking, and both agree to forget about Jesse. Gus leaves, appearing to have chosen option B, but informs Walt that he will be choosing Jesse's replacement. Walt arrives at the super lab to discover Gail Bedeker's car in the parking lot. Gail has been reinstated as Walt's lab partner, and Victor now shadows them everywhere, ensuring the two are never left alone. Gus informs Gail later that night of Walt's cancer. Gus says he intends to keep Walt on as long as possible, but must prepare for the worst case scenario. Walt, whose prior suspicions about Gale are soon reignited, correctly concludes that Gus is grooming Gale to replace him, and that he will be killed once Gale masters Walt's procedure.
It's the first... Gus grooming Gale sounds weird.
But, yeah, it is. Yeah, admittedly, yep.
Yeah, I guess that's what he is doing.
Strange word.
It's like Gale is like a puppy or something. I don't know.
Or a kid.
Okay. Yeah. That's typically what it's used for, isn't it?
Yeah, not for fucking dogs.
All right, yeah. So this opening scene, I really like this flashback to when Skylar's pregnant with Walter Jr.
Yeah,
and
they got a Westworld host taking them on a tour around the house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's it's Dolores' dad, Timothy Abernathy, I think.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Holy
didn't
shit.
you recognize that?
No.
Bruh.
Okay, yeah, crossover confirmed then. I really like how Walter's always been a pretty ambitious person.
Yeah.
But, this didn't come out of nowhere. But I like how his particular ambition at this point in this scene is a far more wholesome one, right? His ambition is to have a big family, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then it's like he couldn't do that, so he just channeled it elsewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And
it's also interesting because it demonstrates, like, he's had this ambition. Even back then, he had this ambition, right? And he clearly still doesn't get what he wanted. Didn't get what he wanted,
Yeah, exactly.
Still ended up in the house that he didn't actually want, which is the sad thing.
And then he says he's working at a lab. So is this thing after or before the thing with Gretchen and Elliot? Is he working at their lab? Is he working at a different lab?
I'm pretty sure he's working in their lab.
Okay.
Surely. Yeah. Well,
so,
I don't know. That's a good point, actually, because I thought the whole reason they left was because of some problems with Gretchen. And considering he's already with Skylar then. Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, and I thought he says it happened in college or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but, that would make sense if, after he left, he wouldn't just go straight into teaching, right? He'd want to keep working in a lab. So maybe he was just kind of going around.
Yeah, I mean, but then presumably why did he go to teaching then?
Well, I don't know. He seems kind of already dissatisfied. He's like, oh, the work I do would bore you senseless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all just a theory. Anyway, and then, this this scene when he's out in the desert. Man, Walt is such a good negotiator. I don't know, just how ballsy he is with
he's got some
intellect.
Big balls.
Yeah, he's just really formidable. And
yeah,
as we said, I can't remember what it was. Maybe last episode when he asked Gus if he ordered that kid to be killed, and then the look Gus gives him is man, I'm a ruthless criminal, but is that what you think of me?
Yeah,
it's I don't know. It's just strange that Gus has a line like that he thinks he wouldn't cross.
Yeah, I think it's important though that Walt didn't really have much choice, right? He killed these people and he couldn't exactly just leave town because he's got a family there. So he either hides in the city somehow, but eventually they're going to get him, right? Or he just confronts them. And I think he just bit the bullet and decided to confront them, and then it kind of worked out okay.
Yeah, totally. And then So that all works out. Then he goes to work the next day, and then he sees Gale's car, and Gale has like some sort of tricycle on the top of his car. Like, did you notice that?
No.
It's like some weird old timey like. It looks like an antique, and Gale's just such a fucking weirdo, man.
Yeah, dude, he's so weird.
Yeah, I like that detail. All right, let's move on.
Acting on Gus's request, Mike visits Saul to find out Jesse's whereabouts. Saul refuses, claiming attorney-client privilege, but relents after Mike physically threatens him. Saul then allows Mike to look at a notebook containing a fake address for a trailer park in Virginia. Walt and Saul meet Jesse at a laser tag arcade. Victor is parked nearby and watches Walt and Saul enter. Walt informs Jesse of his situation and explains that when Gale is confident enough to take over, they will be disposed of. Walt decides they must kill Gale. Jesse begs Walt, having made enough money from the venture to ensure his family are financially secure, to quit and go to the police or the DA, but Walt refuses. He reasons that Gus can't stop production, and with Gale out of the picture, Gus would have no choice but to keep Walt. Jesse says he is not a murderer and can't kill Gale. Walt says he will do the job, and Jesse only needs to find Gale's address as Walt is being heavily watched and can't manage it. Later that evening, Jesse calls Walt at home with Gale's address.
This seemed weird to me when Mike threatened to break Saul's legs. Because
Why?
They have a history. I don't know. Like,
Okay, wait, hang on. This is spoiler territory. Is this some Better Call Saul shit?
Yeah, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
they have, even in this show, they have some history. Like, it's implied.
They do, but Mike clearly stated that his boss isn't Saul. His boss is Gus.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess to me,
So he probably just gives him some cash in hand, kind of. Saul's just cash in hand kind of man. Bit of extra work here and there, Mike takes the cash, but his main income is from Gus.
I wonder if he actually would have hurt Saul though. Anyway, well,
I love the fact though that Saul seems like such a snitch, and that's what you completely expect from this guy, and then turns out he's actually completely loyal to Walt and Jesse.
Is he though?
Yeah, why not?
He gives him up. Oh no, he doesn't. Does
No, he doesn't. That's the point.
Yeah,
he looks in the notebook, but he deliberately wrote the wrong address in there.
Yeah, you're right. I guess there is honor with this thief.
Yeah.
All right, and then I really love Jesse. Sort of, he's still not a killer at this point, and he suggests to Walt to go into witness protection.
Mm.
And then he's kind of like really looking out for his family. He genuinely thinks that's in their best interest.
Mm.
And then, I don't know, like this is, another moment of where they could have exited this whole situation, but...
What, by going to the police?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Walt would never do that.
Yeah, exactly, but...
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Just another one of those points where, like, shit could have gone really differently.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Walt would rather die than go to the DEA. I feel like the DEA/police is never going to be an option for him. Never was.
And yeah, he'd rather murder a man than do that.
Mm.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on.
As Walt is leaving his home to kill Gale, Victor arrives and informs him of a chemical leak at the lab. Suspecting a setup, Walt nevertheless goes with Victor. Upon arriving at the laundromat, Walt sees Mike, confirming his suspicions. Pleading for his life, Walt offers to cook for free and takes him to Jesse. Mike, upon hearing this, demands Jesse's location, but Walt says he needs to call him and set up a meeting. Walt calls Jesse, who is hiding in a darkened laser tag, and frantically tells him that he is about to be killed. He urges Jesse to reach Gale and kill him first, then Gus will need Walt and won't kill him. Victor and Mike wrestle the phone away, and when Walt quotes Gale's address to them, they realize what he has asked Jesse to do. Victor hurriedly leaves, Mike stays with Walt and attempts to warn Gale, but Gale fails to notice his phone ringing. Jesse arrives at Gale's house and pulls a gun on him. Gale pleads with Jesse, telling him that he doesn't have to do it, but a tearful and shaking Jesse pulls the trigger anyway.
Okay, so we get this moment of Walt spending time with his daughter in like a really sort of dreamlike scene with the sunlight in the background.
Yeah.
And I really love this, you like a reminder that he really loves just like spending time with his family.
Mm.
Which is something that seems like a pretty like vague thing, like what does it mean to spend time with your family? But it's just this, and I don't know. It's really good like way to circle back to the opening of like like as much as him saying he's doing it for his family is a sort of like bullshit motivation to other people, to the people he's affecting. At some it still is kind of less so than his own personal shit, but like yeah, he really is like a family man.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then man, his acting is so good.
Yeah.
Like
with Mike and Victor. Yeah. It's like you as a viewer can't tell if he's legit or not. You know, like whether he is actually pleading for his life or it's still just all a facade. Like, it's crazy.
And that transition to, you know, Jesse's like, "Did you do it?" And then he's like, "No, Jesse, I didn't do it. They've got me at the car wash. They've got me at the thing. You need to do it now." And like just the way he transitions from, you know, like pretending to lure Jesse into telling him what to do.
Yeah.
It's just so seamless and like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Walt should just be an actor, man. Just fuck the meth business.
I think you should be saying that Bryan Cranston is a fantastic actor.
No, man, Walter White. He's got it down pat, hey. He's a great...
I love the transition too, especially when he goes from like pleading to fuck you, like I've got the upper hand now. Like he just completely turns it around, and Mike and Victor are like, fuck, what do we do? You know? Yeah.
And then lastly, when Jesse is at Gail's house, and like this scene again is acted so well between the two of them. I love how, you know, like I think Gail toward the end he starts to realize who Jesse is and why he's here. Because initially he's like, you know, take all the money, and then he realizes, and then he can't look Jesse in the eye. He's like looking away.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, and then just all the performances are so on point. And yeah, man, then the gunshot, which makes me jump every time because it's like at the camera. And then, you know, like the thing about all these season endings is, I don't know, I feel like in another show you would see Gale being shot and then, I don't know, like the ramifications of that within this episode. But like, as always, Vince Gilligan sort of ends his seasons. The last shot is always something that's like, you know, suggests something big for the character, not necessarily the plot, even though like this is a huge thing for the plot. You know, it's bigger for Jesse because it's the first time he's murdered someone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but even in terms of the plot, though, it certainly is a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I agree on like how perfect this scene is. Like, you know, within 30 seconds, there's so many emotions that are being brought out, and part of that is due to the acting, but the other part is just due to the like investment that we have in these characters, the build up. You know, like we feel what Jesse's feeling. Like we know that Jesse's this innocent character, and he stands up to do the right thing for you know, for the what's the word? Like he does the honorable thing, right? As we've seen the last couple episodes about the child peddling and stuff like that the drug dealers have been doing, and and when we know that he's got to do something in cold blood like this, that is completely like, I mean, not completely, but it's definitely like the wrong thing to do, to just kill someone for no reason at all, even though he needs to save his own life. You're just so emotionally invested in Jesse himself, you know, and you understand not understand, but you kind of feel what he's going through. It's just so good, you know, building up those kind of the morals and ethics behind it all.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Great season.
Yeah. Also, can we, before we end, gotta talk about fucking Gale singing to that song. That's
not yet, is it?
No, that's in this episode when obviously it's in this episode, otherwise he's dead.
I thought you were talking about the
music video.
Yeah.
No, the one that Hank takes him to.
Yeah.
Fucking Major Tom. Dude, that's better, but this is still pretty good. The one where he's playing like that opera on his own thing, and he's just singing it like perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh god, he's just such a quirky weirdo. Like, he's so good.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's about it. Do you have anything else?
No.
All right. Thanks for listening, and join us next episode.
Bye.
Did you do it? What? Did you do it? No, I didn't do it. I can't now. It's gonna have to be you.
What? No way, man.
Listen to me. You're closer than we are. You'll have about a 20-minute lead. They've got me at the laundry and they're going to kill me. Jesse, do it now! Do it, bitch! Do it fast! Do it, Jesse! Do it!
If you like this series, Mitch is going to tell you where you can find more of these.
Yep, so you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. And we've also got a website, amttgm.com, where you can find our fabulous episodes on Breaking Bad.
If you have any questions, queries, insights, or criticism, you can send them to mail@amttm.com.
And as always, thank you for listening.